you're going to have a better understanding of if you're interested in this thing. Now, the hiring that is we already have knowledge in this area. So you take all of your businesses, you look at where you're interested, you look at what your skill set is, so you identify which of these occupations you are going to choose to become a career in. So when I was deciding what path I wanted to take in there, what I realized is I'm not crazy, and I didn't want to go back to school to have to get some degree that was going to prolong the path for me to actually be what I wanted to be. So I decided to become an entrepreneur. I decided to launch a business. This was the fastest and easiest path for me based on my interest and my existing level of knowledge and skills. You can decide what that is for you. Take something you are at least interested in and are willing to commit to figure out how to get a great schooling or great at that particular occupation. So now your second step is to stop hanging out with your broke friends. You will never become a millionaire if you do not help broke people out of your life. I remember when I had this epiphany that I was going to create this business 6 years ago. I started telling my friends at the time about it, and I thought that I was doing it with excitement, with passion, just someone else's support. And instead of any of that, my friends made only ask kind of condescending questions and always cooperative and condescending questions was the way that they would just make me know every single thing that I was doing, that I was excited about. They would get to me and talk about all the old stories, things that happened in their life that might not obviously be that interesting or that different. And here I was spending all of this time to become this next version of myself. What are the things that stayed up the way I was meeting people to create a new life for myself that I was so excited about? And they couldn't have been any less interested. Your energy is nice. Your real friends, they're not interested in hearing about your goals. They're excited about supporting you. They're going to invalidate you, which might actually cause you to give up in the process. So you're going to do your homework, learn the steps to make it easier on yourself. And the fastest way to make this easy on you is to get rid of friends who are going to hold you back in the process. Now that you remove your broke friends from your life, you have to replace them with rich leaders. So think of whoever your idol is. For me, this was Elena Cardone. I wanted to make it interesting enough. I wanted to be knowledgeable enough that she would want to hang out with me. And what I realized is Elena would not be hanging out with Natalie in the present state. So what does Natalie in the present state need to start doing so that if I get the opportunity to be in Elena's presence, she's interested in having a conversation with me? And let me tell you, this advice is also for people who are really honest with themselves. Because some people might lie to themselves and think, well, there's no reason that Elon Musk wouldn't want to hang out with me, or Grant Cardone wouldn't want to hang out with me. If you haven't done anything great, if you haven't created anything great, why would they want to spend time with you? And that's a hard pill to swallow. However, once you swallow it, then you can get to the action. The most practical thing that I can give you is to identify the 10 most successful people in the specific field that you decide that you want to pursue or you want to become a millionaire in, and you study them. So I chose the Cardinals specifically to study because they had the stats. They were a power couple. They already had $1 billion net worth as my target, and they worked together. Those criteria fit everything. So this brings me to step number 4, which is stop wasting your time. Time is your most important asset. Your ability to study, to learn, to educate yourself on mornings, evenings, weekends, in the shower, driving. You use those opportunities to build a skill set that you are learning from the best of the best. For me, that was a combination of podcasts, YouTube videos, and books. marketing course, but I recognized that I needed to get myself out there. I needed to get myself known, and the way to do that is through promotion and marketing. So I was at an event. It was a women's event. I was all jazzed up. I was excited. I was like, yeah, these speakers are amazing. And they just were like lighting me. Like, oh my gosh, I could be up on stage with them one day. I deserve to be up on stage with them one day. I'm not at that point right now. That's what I want. So at the end of the event, they made an offer for a $4,000 marketing course, and I panicked. Oh my gosh, $4,000 is so much money. What if I don't get that money back? What if I can learn all this stuff online and then it's just a waste of money and I feel silly? And all of this self-doubt just started to creep in as soon as we started talking about $4,000, which was the number that I was looking for. But I made the investment. I just did it as like I'm going all in because it's going to force me to become a different version of myself. And I'm unwilling in 1 year now to be the same person that I am today. The second thing is simply to get yourself in the room. To go from zero to a millionaire, you need to get into the room with people who can actually help you. If you don't get into the room, you're not going to become that person. I have attended so many conferences where I use them as an opportunity to say, Natalie, 3 months from now, when you attend this event, you're going to have completed XYZ project so that you can talk about this because you know that the types of people are going to go there and you have to prepare yourself because right now you don't have anything to offer anybody. It's the reality, but you are going to have something to offer somebody because 3 months from now you have a target and you can create something 3 months from now. You can create a landing page, you can create an offer, you can make movements if you know that you've committed yourself to be in a place in the future. So you can have somebody in the process of attending an event that is valuable to the people that are going there. But you are never going to take the steps that are required if you don't actually commit to getting to the room. This is why for the 10 people that you are studying, find rooms that they are going to be in and invest your money to let them have those rooms. When you show up, you are forcing yourself to become the type of person that they would want to spend time with. Get in proximity to people who are making $1 million, and when you are in proximity, you're going to find out about that. The next step is to find out who is going to be in this room and research the hell out of them. My motto is become the ultimate stalker, the good kind of stalker. Stalker who is informed, stalker who doesn't research. There's greedy, weird, don't be that kind of stalker. But the person that actually shows up and has looked up people ahead of time knows who their targets are. Because if you go to an event, the target is not to meet every single person, be it unsuccessful action. The target is finding the handful. Remember this, is always a handful. You're trying to find a handful of people who can help you get to where you're trying to go. So when you look at the event ahead of time, how can you find out who is going to be in the room? Do they have a WhatsApp group? Do they have a Facebook group? How are people inside this community connecting? What's cool about the community in this day and age is that when you go to an event like this, they are likely trying to build a community, which means that they have some sort of community already existing ahead of time. So to your belief, research, this is what millionaires do. They are always going to groups. Totally prepared. Your next step to acting and earning like a millionaire is learning how to sell. Because you see, the richest, most successful people we know, they all know how to sell. Making money is a theme comprised of knowing how to sell. Every single day, you're going to have to sell yourself, and sell your customers, and sell your future team members on who you are, what you do, and why anybody should care. So regardless, if you want to be an engineer, a lawyer, an entrepreneur, a real estate agent, you have to learn how to sell. So I strongly recommend that you are learning skills that you can find period. While currently learning how to sell, because sales will follow you throughout your entire process. The best person to teach you is Grant Cardone. He changed my life. But if you aren't something that they don't want. It's about something So of course I pick up the phone, I call, and she lets me know that one of our favorite members that wasn't the most awesome day. It could have been all this chaos about much less about the fact that the person but it's because you're not even remember the situation you're going to remember how you that person helps respond to stress. If you are a calm, hundreds of hours of rework on projects that were already constrained and trying to area of extra time responsibility. But it's complicated to help me solve these problems. He worked involved. Go on to figure out how to solve this problem. It wasn't too useful, and that was never gets better. The system never gets better. You just keep getting sucked into it. And this is how I went from being an operator to